Hey everybody, it's Michelle LaVore and
Devin Moore
coming at ya. So, we didn't do a video yesterday. It was Mother's Day. We had a good day. It was fun, and
we'll be getting on comments tonight for sure.
Yes, for real.
By the time you've seen this video, we will have already done them actually.
Yeah. So. But so hopefully all the other mothers out there, you had a great day, and because it was a good day.
It was a good day.
And
let's just get to the meat of it.
Yes.
Because there's some cool stuff that is happening.
Yeah, so
God never takes a break.
Never.
He gives us a break for our benefit, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so we have some cool things, and we were just kind of praying about what we would have this video be about. And I really felt like God was saying to me, like it's this is about getting dressed. And because I really feel like the last few days, but particularly for me today, it's like God is getting us dressed for the banquet. In the vision, the banquet vision, when we're all standing before the doors, we're all dressed in basically just the white gowns,
the white garments.
The white garments. You know, we're standing before the Lord. We're ready to enter in. And so it's like, well, why would we need to get dressed? Well, we've been in the desert, you know. In the vision, it's like, here's the desert, and we're lined up, but it's like right at the edge of the desert, and we're waiting for the doors to open. And when you're in the desert, just like the Israelites, when they were wandering in the desert, their clothes were getting worn, they were getting dusty, they were getting dirty. And it's like, I really feel like God's just been kind of washing us off, really in the last week or so. He's been, showing us again, like, let me remind you of where I have you, what the work is before you. But particularly for me today, he was really just, I think, addressing again some heart issues. Yeah. Particularly one that it wasn't until this time that he could take it and just wash me over, cleanse my heart, and just kind of feel like just put me in the white garment. And it's like, all right, it's not what it was before. It's more of just like finishing touches,
Can't believe you said that. That's funny.
What?
Anyway, go ahead.
What?
That's okay.
I don't know. It really is like,
Finishing touches.
when you're getting ready for event, it's like.
Well, can I say something?
Yes.
Basically, for the last 3 days, there was like a period of like 4 or 5 days where the Lord was just prophesying over me, and it was the last Airbnb we stayed at.
Yeah.
And that was a while ago.
Yeah, probably about a month ago.
Yeah, and the Lord was I just went through this week of like, wow, this is awesome. Like,
yeah.
God was just focusing on me. So like for you, the last 3 days,
yeah,
God's just been focusing on you, prophesying things over you, sharing things with you. But then today was more of it was a heart surgery, because there was a heart issue there that was like did you want to tell about that?
Yeah, so
because you're using a lot of pronouns, and they're probably like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, so for me...
Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, we'll share the story. So basically for me, there was a flare-up, because I was feeling last night like, man, things just don't, once again, seem to be going the way that I'm expecting them to go. And I'm afraid that I'm not going to get the promise. And so that just kind of started last night. And then this morning, it was still right there. So immediately, basically, as soon as we started talking, it was just, for me, a lot of negativity. When I get into these places, it's just everything I look at through a negative light. And
which is no light.
Yeah, basically. That would be no light. But and so it was just like, okay, so we're gonna, we're just, well, Lord, we feel like maybe there's something different, but then things are the same. We're gonna continue to stay here, And I guess in my heart there was this hope of like, yeah, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but there's this hope of like, ooh, maybe the breakthrough is going to happen today and we'll be going to our home, or we'll, like, something will be different. The timing. All
the other issues that you've always struggled with, you know?
And so it was just right away started down this, you know, negative path. And then we were listening to Joel Osteen this morning, and he's just like, you know, just keep going, have faith. Like, it's just like, how many no's are you going to be willing to take and until you get your yes? And I'm just like part of my heart is just like, like, I know I should just be like, yeah, I'm going to have the faith. Let's go.
Yeah.
But then there's this other part of me that's just struggling so much because I'm like, this really is not what I want it to be. I'm really frustrated, and I'm just having this conflict, and then I'm feeling like, man, I'm just being so prideful, and here's this other issue, and so it just kind of starts.
And then you listen to Ryan Lestrange's video that talks about the Leviathan.
Yeah, and I'm like, great.
You're like,
now
great.
I've got that too, and this is just turning into a train wreck. And so then we started, and I hadn't really been saying hardly anything at all. I was just very like in a depressive, heavy state.
Yeah.
And then we start talking, and it's just like, it doesn't matter what I say out of my mouth. It's not coming out right. It's not good. Like, I don't know how to stop this. This thing is just snowballing into like...
And I'm just like, I'm hammering you. Yeah. I'm keeping you right on track. I'm like, no, all these emotions are getting you all off. No, stay right on point.
Yeah.
Let's deal with the actual issue. Come on.
And, you know? And it's just like... and the truth is, I think what was so frustrating for me is because it's like, I know this old road. I've been down this old road. I don't want to keep going down it, but I don't know how to stop myself. Mm-hmm. And it's just, why does this always come up? Why is it always like, if I think that we're not going to get the promise that we've been given, that it just flares up this huge thing, but then ultimately it's, I'm getting upset at God. I'm getting, you know, like, just, I don't know, just so much goes into it. And then...
Well, can I say? Because basically what happens is we hear from God. You know, you're at the doors and all the other videos that we've made. And even before we came to this hotel, man, there was just a build-up. And you're hearing other people talk about it and all that. So there's a natural... It's not just, okay, it's not just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need a confirmation because I know I'm hearing from the Lord. But, man, it is so awesome to hear other people saying the exact same things, like, all over the place. This is awesome. This is exciting. I'm excited because I believe that this and that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
That's what you believe. And then something else triggers. There's like a trigger there, which you'll get to in a second, right? Mm-hmm. There's a trigger there that makes you go, oh, that's not what's going to happen. The funny thing is, neither one has happened. The thing you thought was going to happen hasn't happened. The thing you think is not going to happen hasn't not happened. You know, it's like nothing's really happened. It's like, wait, hold on. Where are you going in your heart there?
Yeah.
Where are you going in your mind? Like you were so like, yeah, and now you're just like,
yeah.
Like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
and then it's a deep, intense response.
It's super deep, and it just becomes kind of like this yarn. It's like this ball of string that's just like you're trying to unravel it, but it just, I mean, it's just like there is so much there because all this stuff gets thrown in together, and it's like a yarn that's like super messy and that has knots in it, and it's just like, what is going on? And
why can't I untangle this?
Yeah.
And why does it keep coming up on all ball and yarny? You know?
Yeah, and it's like, I thought
that made no sense, but whatever.
And I think it was just, I was so frustrated this morning because I'm like, I know we've been through this like 1.5 million times, and it's like...
What, us talking?
Yeah, like our
me
conversations.
Trying to save you from
and it's like,
pull you out of the mire.
Why can't this just be over? I feel like I was just here like
why can't I be normal?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like... And then it was just, you know, God comes in. And
oh man, that was awesome.
It was very awesome.
It was amazing.
And he basically like gave me the picture. Devin shared it with me, was just like, basically your heart has a wart. And
he did. He dropped it in my lap. It was
and
just
it was just
wow.
like, wow, that's it. You know, you have this thing and that flares up, because if any of you have had warts, that's kind of how they are. They, you know, sometimes they can go away for a while, but they come back. And can you talk about your story?
Oh, sure. Well, I think I might have known the Lord for like 2 years. So I was like super full of faith. I believed God for anything, you know, and not much has changed in the ensuing years.
Yeah.
But I had a wart on this finger, and I don't even know where I got it from. And I didn't even know what it was, but it just kept flaring up, and it would just get so nasty and painful and irritating, and it would just flare up for no reason. And then it would go back down, but it would still be like this little nub that I was like, it's going to flare up again at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And this would go on for like a year. And I'm praying, I'm declaring, I'm doing all the stuff I know I need to do. I'm putting anointing oil on it. I'm doing everything. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I got to this place where I basically was just like, I looked at it. This is like a year into it, you know, a year into praying and asking God to take care of this, because it was really unsightly, and it was really just like, it was irritating my just my whole life, you know. And just this little thing was really messing up my life. It was a thorn in the flesh, literally.
Yeah.
And so one day I just got so tired. I was just like, you know what, Lord, can you please just heal this, please? And that's all I said. And then from that point on, you know, it would do its flare down thing, but then it like disappeared completely. It never done that before. Completely disappeared. And then I just woke up one day and I realized, it was probably like a week after I prayed it, I just realized like, oh my God, this thing is gone. Yeah. And then I remembered the prayer that I prayed, and I was freaking out for days. Yeah. I was freaking out. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's my story.
So when Devin brought that picture up, it was just like, wow, yes, that is what it is. And I
felt like that's what the Lord was saying. Like,
yeah, and it was like, here is this, you know, like just very similar. It's like you didn't know where you got it from.
I had no idea.
And it was like, for me, it was like I had no idea where I started to respond the way that I respond, and the why or anything, but it's there and it keeps flaring up. And I felt so much like when you said, you know, you're like, I just prayed like, Lord, just heal this, you know. And I was just like, yes, that's all I want. I just want healing from this flare up, because I've tried everything. And
you want to believe without doubting.
Yeah.
Without it turning into maybe I'm really having a hard time not accusing you, God, of not being good. Yeah. That's what it turns into. Yeah. It's like, this is just a waste of time.
And so, yeah. And so we were just, you know, we're just praying more. And, well, really, I was just listening. You were pretty much, God was just like, dude, here, let me just share with you.
It was word of knowledge after word of knowledge after word of knowledge. I was like, why can't we do this in the streets?
Yeah.
This would be awesome.
Or okay? All the time.
Like, all the time.
Totally,
like, it would be just amazing. You know? God's like, you can't handle the warfare that's going to come with that. Yeah. Not right now. No, I'm just kidding.
But it was just like, it was like, wow. So basically it came down to, for me, this wart is basically the, I guess, perfect Patty syndrome. The idea that I so want to be perfect for the Lord. And it's like,
because you see him as perfect. You see him as awesome, and you don't want to give him anything less than what's just totally awesome. Yeah. But then you look at yourself and you go, oh man, I am not awesome. I've got to be perfect because he's worthy of perfection. That's kind of the gist of what you were getting at there, or what the Lord was trying to say there.
Yeah. And there's more to it, but I just like, that was really like kind of at the heart of it. And so we continued to pray, and God really just blessed me with just some words just for me of how he sees me. And I was just like, wow, like this is crazy.
Sudden turnaround, just like that. From the depths of despair to the mountains of, Lord, you are worthy.
Yes. And so then, you know, we talked about it, and then we prayed, and so I'm just like, all right, this is so awesome, because when God can remove something from your heart, remove it from your spirit, you are changed. And I did, like we prayed, and I just kind of felt lighter. I felt like, hey, something is different.
The evidence of a healing.
And so it was just like, wow, thank you, Lord. And afterwards, it really was. I think what was so good about it is that it was the time. You know, this whole year been going through, and it's been coming up and flaring up, but God's been working. And, you know, and you said it really well. It's almost like it's been pushed. It's being pushed to the surface, very much like a tooth. In the sense of like it's starting to come up. There are times, you know, you get teething, but you still don't see a tooth yet. You don't see a teeth yet. Yeah, and until then, and then there's a breakthrough, you know, and it comes out. And
are you going there?
I might. I don't know. But it's just like, I really felt like that's what happened for me. It's like God continued to bring this, it was coming to the surface. And then, okay, now he can just scoop that out. He can take that, remove it, because it needed to be removed. But, you know, it's like, you know, with warts, they can be really deep in your skin. And you can dig and carve it out, and there can be this like gaping hole that you have to deal with. Or like with God, you
gotta make sure you get it all out, because it'll come back.
But I think with God and just his kindness and gentleness, he's just like, I'm bringing it up. It's coming out from the root.
Up.
Yeah. And then when it's pretty much right there, I can just scoop it out.
So that's why you've had all these flare-ups since we've been in Nashville.
Yeah.
These kind of like, you bounce back from strong woman of faith to, I hate prophetic words.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You know, it's like a Smeagol Gollum type of thing.
Yeah. But it's been, you know? It was really crazy too, because we've been getting the number 44 yesterday and today. A lot. And we got
a lot when we went to Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
And we had a lot in 2017. And I feel like we really have been getting more revelation about the 44s. And so we were reading last night about the number 44, and
44 means the chosen people.
And part of that was the story about how Abraham, when had put out Ishmael and Hagar, because they were not the chosen, and he had to put them out. And that's what God wanted. He's like, you can't, because there's going to be so much contention. You can't have the non-promise with the promise, you know.
And that's what the number 43 means, is contention. So 44 is the resolution of the contention.
Yeah.
The contention's behind you. The issue's been solved.
Yeah.
And now the chosen people have arrived.
Yeah. And so it was just so clear today, like that is what was happening for me. It's like, here's this this thing that's been with you, and it represents the old, you know, this is not the child of promise, so to speak. And
what you're talking about is your thought patterns and your ideas and how you process difficulties.
Yeah.
And your relationship with God, particularly walk of faith like this.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And it's like, guys, you got to put that out, you know, so that you can have the promise that God wants me to have. So it was just, I don't know, it was just really cool, because, you know, I really believe like 44 really is, it has to do with resolving a matter of when there is contention. And we've seen that so much. And I really believe, like, 2017, we saw that number all of the time. But God was doing so much in our hearts of really seeing him and choosing to be on God's side.
Bringing a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We got plenty of videos if you want to go back and watch our breakthrough story.
Yeah.
Playlist. Oh my gosh, there's 50 videos. So, you know, if you're gonna watch
grab
all of
some
them,
popcorn.
I'd be like, you need to get a life. No, I'm just kidding. That's a lot of videos.
Could be an all weekender.
Could be
a.
I'm doing a Devin and Michelle LaVore binge.
Marathon.
Yeah.
Get some popcorn.
I'm binging. Getting this in my spirit.
And
I particularly recommend the angel wings thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Amazing. I'm like, wow, I'm still blown away by that today.
Yeah. But so I just felt like
we digress.
After all of everything that God did with me today, which was amazing, and I'm just like,
so this is like an inner healing session.
It really was. And afterwards it was just, I had that picture of God just like, I'm just getting you dressed, you know. This isn't a, you know, because you can tend to think, okay, great, how many more of these am I going to have to go through? But it was like, no, God has been working this whole time, and now it's like, all right, just take that. Oh, okay, good. Now you look awesome, you know? And I just feel like that's what God is doing right now. So if you're in a...
Getting dressed for the graduation ceremony.
Exactly. You got to get dressed for the banquet.
Yeah.
And so I think for those of you, if you're just in a similar situation where you're just like, okay, Lord, I'm believing you. Yes, we are at the end, but at the same time, you're feeling some of the things that maybe you felt like, wow, haven't we gone through this? You know, just
this is the same old.
Yeah, don't believe it, because I think God, he's like, nope, I'm just washing the rest of it off. I'm dressing you so that you are ready to go into the banquet, and just
because you can't take that.
No.
Into the promised land.
No.
You can't take that, well, God might be against me sometimes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. He will be. Sometimes he will be against. No, he's not.
Yeah.
No, you can't do. No, see, when you're fighting and defending an erroneous idea about God, that is called a stronghold.
Yeah.
And you can't, you know, God's sending you into your promised land to tear down strongholds.
Yeah.
When you come up against the one that you're still holding on to, you won't tear it down.
Yeah.
It'll be a high place that will be left undone. They said that all the time in the Kings.
Yeah.
But these high places in Dan and Beersheba, probably because they were way too far out. He's like, just leave them. That's too far to go just to tear down a high place.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like there will be high places in your life that will be left. And it will, man, I tell you what, I have to wonder sometimes when you look from the outside looking in, I have to wonder if that's what the downfall is when some of these big preachers have their like downfall.
Yeah.
And I wonder like, what in the world happened to them? And now that I've, you know, been in the Lord almost 24 years, I almost don't wonder now. I was like, I bet that's what it was. Some high places were left untended, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or undestroyed. That's not a word, but you know what I'm saying. And it's like it comes back to bite you in the butt later on.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that is why it is so important to wait. Like the scripture says, let the work of God, like in James, let patience and all that stuff, let it have its perfect work so that you will be lacking nothing.
Yes.
You know, it's like, okay, breakthrough happens for Devin and Michelle. Look at what God's done in their life. It's amazing. Seeing it on the outside, watching it through a video, it looks amazing and everyone's giving glory to God. And then, you know, they're having faith for their breakthrough and all that stuff. And it's amazing. But what you don't see is there was this wart on the heart that went in also.
Yeah.
And then 10 years down the road, you're like, dang, what happened to Devin and Michelle, man? They used to be so... What happened? Well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's not just on you. Because if you watch our breakthrough story, I was the first one to go through it.
Yeah.
That was an awesome thing. About the rejection in my heart type of thing. But that's I already did that video.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying, like, whatever it is, you got to let God take it out. You got to let God completely cleanse you without spot or wrinkle. You know what I mean? And then it's like... And I really feel like we're still right there.
Yeah.
We're still right there. at the doors, and it's like, hey, I'm getting you ready. And the only reason God can get you ready is because you were ready to be ready.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know, you're ready to have God bring this major Titanic of an iceberg thing up. So don't be afraid to just let God do what he's going to do and be like, oh man, you got to work on another thing. Man, that's going to be a long time. I'm never going to get this promise. And I'm always going to have heart sickness. This is never going to work. That's not true. It's just not true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, because literally that's pretty much what I was saying this morning. And
yeah, that was your attitude in like 3 sentences.
It was pretty much. But then it's like, but then God steps in. And...
Oh, man, you just have to give him praise.
Yeah. I mean, it really...
He did not have to do that, you know?
He didn't. But it just like, saying that, it was just like, wow, it really is. Like, here is this, you know, thing that I've been struggling with. And
you've been wanting to get rid of
it's
for a
like
long time.
I've been rowing against the wind, and God steps into my boat.
Come on now.
And I'm right where I want to be.
Come on now.
And it's like God can do that for you, because
you know I'm struggling.
I know.
You know
but
I'm struggling.
God is like,
Woo.
I am right here, and I know you've been struggling. I know you've been contending for these things in your life, but I am ready to step into your boat.
Jesus.
Come let me step into your boat, and you will be right where you want to be. And it's like, yes, Lord, that's exactly what we want. And I experienced that today. I really did, because this has been something that has been hounding me, just like the waves, you know, just like, you know, just trying so hard to row
against
and
the wind
row and
with your
row,
own
and
strength
it's like,
and your own
Lord,
perfection.
I am trying to do this. I mean, I said it this morning, literally from my mouth, of just like, I've been trying so much to just be where I'm trying to be on that other side. I'm trying to be who exactly you want me to be, and I can't get there. And then God steps in, literally he comes into the situation,
walking on water,
and he is like, I'm gonna get you right there.
Yep.
And it's like, if he can do it in the heart level, in the spirit, he is going to do it also in the physical. And he is going to step into our situations, and we are going to be at the promise. And it's just like, yes, it is coming. Like, he is going to step into our situations, but we really do have to allow the Lord to complete the work that he started in us. And it's just like, you know, whatever, just allow him to do what he needs to do. And it's like, we don't have to be afraid, and that it's like, oh, it's gonna be, you know, like it's always been. And I think that was such an important word last night that we listened to about,
oh yeah, I forget, I don't know the name. I'll put it up there, but
yeah, it just like, hey, don't think like it's gonna always be like it was, or that you're gonna
open door.
Yeah.
God is opening a door.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I put it on my Facebook. I was like, this is like the 5th confirmation we've had.
Yeah.
About an open door, just all of a sudden coming at us like, hey, open door, open door, open door.
Yeah.
And what she prophesied, woo, you got to listen to it. It's only 1 minute and 14 seconds.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's just like, God is just so good. And, you know, he is going to get us to where he wants us to be. And, you know, it's going to be just this, wow, we've been contending for this, and boom, now we're here.
Well, and it's going to be new, and it's going to be fresh, and it's going to make you happy.
Going to make you joyful.
Yeah, you know, and that's why when you're talking about before, you got to cast out the bondwoman.
Yeah, you
got to do that. You got to cast out the thinking that it's going to be the same old. That's what she said on the prophecy. It's like, don't be like thinking, oh, we're just going into something new, because that was what you were struggling with before we came to Nashville and started doing what we're doing. Yes, what we're doing is new. It is different, you know, and but it's like, it's still not what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Not what we hoped it was going to be. And now we're kind of in that same position, you know. But in this particular position, God has never said, I mean, God told us literally, you're at the doors.
Yeah.
And we're like, and I knew exactly what he meant, because when God speaks to you, he's not trying to toy with your heart.
Yeah.
He's not trying to play around, you know, and he didn't say that when we first got here back in December, or as January started to roll through. He wasn't saying any of that. When we got here to room 222 on the second floor, that's a 2222, thank you. And he just said, you are at the doors.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then all that stuff, all the visions. I feel like 2017, God was giving us visions and impartations. He did do a lot of things, but a lot of the visions that we were getting were prophetic.
Yeah.
And I believe we're actually walking those out right now.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, wait, I thought we had already gotten to the doors, and I already thought we were getting cleansed and washed and putting on the new garments and all that stuff. And I feel like the Lord's like, yeah, that is true, but this is the physical representation of it. It is getting ready to, it is actually happening like right now. And I'm like, man, I am excited, you know. But you got to cast out that bondwoman, that mindset of basically the wart, you know. It's what you're talking about. You got to let God heal it, you know.
Yeah.
Cast it out. Don't attach yourself to it.
Yeah. And I think it's so important to just allow God to step into your boat.
Yeah.
You know, because
what is that? Luke 6:16.
Yeah.
That starts the story.
John
or John 6:16. You kind of go from there, and that's that story.
Yeah, and it's just, it's like just allow God to do what he needs to do, because, you know, I think so much of the time, like, you know, even last night, I think when things get stirred up, a lot of times it's like, it's like it doesn't feel good. You're just like, ugh. But God is actually using that to do the very thing that he wants to do. And so it's like, allow God to go ahead and just, you know, if things start coming up, it's just like, okay, allow that to just come up. And baby woke up, so he'll be at the end of this video. But
we were wrapping up.
Yeah, but you know, just allow God to do what he wants to do in your heart and in your life, because he knows what he's doing. He knows you better than you know yourself. And
hey, buddy.
So that's really what we have for you today.
There we go. We got a little. He still does it.
Yep.
You haven't seen him in a while, but he still does it.
Yep.
He likes to do his upside down thing. Why do you like to do that? That's so hilarious.
But that's really what we have for you guys today. And I just pray that you guys are blessed by this video and blessed by God, that he would come in and step into your boats, into the areas of even your heart that you have been dealing with, just issues that you can't seem to shake.
Yeah.
And
seem like things are never going to change in here.
Yeah.
Right?
And that God would just step in and break through in those areas. So, until next time, guys.
We love you guys.
We will.
Thank you so much for the support. We're able to stay here this week because of you guys.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line. You guys have been such a major help. I mean, it goes without, I mean, the words just don't, I can't even find them.
Yeah.
You see what's going on here? But we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for the continued support and the comments and the interaction and all that. And we're definitely going to get on comments later. And why do you do that? And so we love you guys.
Yeah. So we'll see you later.
We'll see you later.
Bye.